Josh Fox, the Oscar-nominated maker of the documentary Gasland, is now being accused of censorship. Gasland showed some disturbing images of citizens in Colorado and elsewhere lighting their tap water on fire. A result, according to the director, it's kind of the purpose of the film, of fracking. This is the kind of gas drilling that is opposed by environmentalists. But another journalist discovered that there's an important fact left out of the movie, and he confronted the director at a public Q&A. That's when the lawyers stepped in. So what is Josh Fox trying to hide? Here with the full details is Phelim McAleer. Good to see you, Phelim. Thanks for coming in. Congratulations. You always have to keep journalists like me honest, and that's what you're out there doing. First of all, let's just show once again, we can talk over, but let's just show from the film Gasland, really the most dramatic film was when he went into the house of somebody who claimed that because of the process of fracking, what was happening is all these gases were coming up through the faucet, so much so, and as you can see, he is holding a match or a lighter next to the faucet, and boom, up it comes. Obviously, this is really scary footage, but what did you find out?
Oh, it's the money shot. It's frightening footage. It's something that you should be concerned about if it was true. But then I found out that people have been lighting their tap water in America for decades. And in that area, the Colorado Water Division said there was troubling amounts of methane in the aquifer as far back as 1976.
Wow.
Some parts of America are built on coal. When you dig a well down, a water well, you get methane. And since then, there's been a report, this is methane. This is not the gas that comes with fracking. There's two different types of gas. And I thought I would go and ask Josh Fox that. I went and asked him and discovered he knew this, but didn't put it in the documentary.
Well, let us play the actual confrontation you had with Josh, and you'll explain what happened later. Play the tape.
There is methane in groundwater. It happens.
Most people watching your film would think that lighting your water started with fracking. You've said yourself, people lit their water long before fracking started. Isn't that correct?
Yes, but it's not relevant.
It's not relevant. I mean, it's the core of the movie. That's how he makes his point that fracking should be stopped.
Yeah, I mean, if you watch that, you would think, oh, it's quite obviously caused by fracking. But if he knew decades in advance, and previous to that, he'd said he knows that there's reports of people lighting their tap water as far back as 1936, almost a full century before fracking got underway. I mean, and even in areas where there has never been any fracking, gas comes into water wells sometimes naturally. And for Josh Fox not to include this in his documentary Gasland, it's bad journalism. It's not good. It's scaremongering. There needs to be some truth about fracking. We need to look at the fracking more. Everyone needs to get involved. But we need good journalists.
Right.
To include
Okay. And
all
you
the
tried because you felt it was important to get the truth out there, to get it out there, to put it on the internet. What happened? What did Josh Fox do to try to cover this confrontation up?
Well, I put that little confrontation with him on YouTube, and he got his lawyers to get YouTube to yank the tape because we included the footage of him, that he has of people lighting the water. We felt it was important that people saw what he was saying and then what he's saying later on. So because we used that little bit of footage, he said we breached his copyright, and YouTube pulled the tape. It seems Josh Fox doesn't like criticism. He doesn't like journalism. He says he's a journalist, but he doesn't like hard questions, and his natural reaction is to censor. So we've set up a website now called fightgaslandcensorship.com, where you can see the confrontation. It's more difficult for Josh Fox to get it. People are going to find out the truth about fracking and Gasland, and you know, let's have a real debate about this issue. You know, go to fightgasland.com.
And there does need to be a debate about it, because everything about fracking has not been solved. It does use some pretty nasty chemicals in order to get through the rock, in order to get the drill bits in, etc. So there are some legitimate concerns, correct?
Listen, there are concerns with every industrial process in America, and let's get all the facts out there. But if you're making an hour and a half long documentary, if you get nominated for an Oscar, it's incumbent upon you. You have to get all the details in there. And if he knew that this problem existed before fracking existed, it's really not fair to the people who are frightened by these pictures. Really not fair to include it. It's totally irrelevant. Josh Fox that was not journalism. Gasland is not journalism. Unfortunately, it seems to be scaremongering. But maybe it's not. Maybe Joyce Fox is an answer. Let's have a debate. But Joyce, stop other people's journalism.
All right, and very quickly,
Phelim,
you know the charge is going to be made about you that you were a dupe of the gas industry. Do you have any connection with the gas industry at all?
I don't even know who runs the fracking companies. I've never met them. I don't. All I wanted to do was go along and practice old-fashioned journalism. I've done it with Al Gore. I do it with all sorts of people. Let's ask some difficult questions, some hard questions. Let's ask hard questions of big environment the same way we ask hard questions of big business and big government.
Gotcha.
It's called journalism. It's great fun. I recommend it.
Phelim McAleer, good to see you again. Thank you for being here. Appreciate it. Coming up on deck.